Okay, I'm streaming. I'm streaming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we live? Almost. And we are live. Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm Genevieve, Genevieve, whatever. And I wanted to drop in today to tell you all about my experience over the past 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks of cooking meals using HelloFresh. So I really gave up on cooking a while back because I have 2 kids and one of them is super easy to cook for and actually can cook for himself quite well. It's one of the first things I taught him to do in life is read and follow instructions. And the best way to teach reading and following instructions would be cooking, because recipes are very specific and it involves, I'm a homeschooler, so it involves reading comprehension, it involves measurements, so it's math and science, and it provides instant gratification or instant failure. So what does it say? Welcome to live chat. Yes. Hi, who is this with me? Hi, und. Thanks for dropping in. So my kids are homeschooled and there's 6 years between them. My first son was a very early reader, and so I wanted to teach him reading and following instructions very early, because in life, if you can read and follow instructions, you can pretty much do anything or learn how to do anything. So it worked out really well for him, and so then he went on to really become quite a good cook. He's much better than I am, simply because he can actually smell and taste something and know what it needs, what to add. I really can't. And that is why I wanted to start with HelloFresh, because it has all of the ingredients in very specific directions. But several years ago, I gave up trying to cook for both of my kids because my younger son is so incredibly picky that I would try to make some cool different meals instead of eating the same thing all the time, you know, those chicken tender kids. And it didn't work out. So we really have been, thank you. We really have been just eating a lot of raw food. I eat a lot of like salads and things like that, but if you've watched some of my other recipes, I teach people how to transition to an anti-inflammatory diet, gluten-free, lactose-free, and those are a lot of my shorts. That's what they're about. And then I have my digital course at snottybodies.com. It's not health food. It's really just helping people understand the difference between inflammatory foods and non-inflammatory foods in general. So the gluten, the lactose, the sugar, and how you can drop an incredible amount of weight very quickly by just substituting a few things. Like if you're going to eat tacos, instead of the flour tortillas, eat corn tortillas, which are not inflammatory for most people. So for years, we've been just eating frozen foods, and they've been good, but you'll see a lot of that stuff, and raw food, you'll see that. But I wanted to upgrade my recipes and, to be a good wife. I'm not married, but here are some of the recipes. This one actually says 1 pan steak pork tacos. We don't eat pork, so I subbed that with turkey, ground turkey. And this one is mushroom ravioli with kale and walnuts. And we have also the bistro steak crispy potato wedges. 1 pot cowboy turkey and red bean chili. Argentinian bavette steaks. I don't know if that's how you say that. I'm not Argentinian. Creamy garden herb chicken and smoky Spanish rice with shrimp. I don't eat shrimp, but my older son does. So, and my younger son did not like the shrimp. My older son did like this. So I'll go through them and tell you what I thought about them. First of all, the meals themselves, and then I'll tell you what mistakes to definitely avoid. This one pan Santa Fe turkey tacos turned out really, really great. Over here you can see there's a list of all the ingredients that comes with in the box, and then here are the instructions, very specific. So that is really great. It's on every recipe, and over here it will tell you if something has dairy, like milk, sour cream, anything like that, or gluten, wheat in it. So I was able to eat some of these. Like, these are flour tortillas. I could have subbed them out for the corn tortillas that we have, but I just ate them on corn tortilla chips, and it made it gluten-free. I went without the sour cream. There was some other stuff in here. What was it that I avoided? I just had some chocolate. I had a chocolate shake, my protein shakes that I eat to digest the lactose. If you watch my videos, you'll learn that the chocolate enzyme digests lactose. We don't have a lactose enzyme because we're not baby cows, but we do have a cocoa enzyme when we eat chocolate, and that digests lactose. Here is the smoky Spanish rice with shrimp. Same thing over here. You've got the ingredients. It'll tell you what has gluten, wheat, or dairy in it. The instructions on the back. I did cook shrimp in one of my pans, which I haven't cooked anything that's not kosher in my kitchen in many, many years, but I was like, whatever. So, creamy garden herb chicken. I think the kids liked this. I don't think my little guy really cared for the creamy sauce on there. He really just ate the chicken, but otherwise it was good. These are actually carrots. I know it looks like maybe they're potato things, but they're not. They're carrots, and these are beans. It was quite good. The Argentinian steak, bavat, I don't know. Comment below if you know how to say it. I'm just kidding. That won't work. Same thing here. You've got the ingredients that come with it and how to make it exactly. It worked out really great. My older son in particular loved this. My younger son just pretty much ate the steak part. The quality of the steak, it was a sirloin, I think. It was okay. My goal was actually to get some recipes we like and then find these same ingredients at a local farmer's market or farmer. And pretty much everywhere you can find a local farmer that you can get beef from, and of course all of your produce that you might want. The one pot cowboy turkey and red bean chili, my kids really liked this one. This worked out well, and then I made them cornbread also to go with this, because what's chili without cornbread? And here is the bistro steak and crispy potato wedges. Ouch. This worked out really well. I was able to eat, oh, wait a minute. This one I made for myself. My son's team won the local Reno championship for Little League, and I got them pizza. And I made this for myself, and I was able to pig out on the entire thing all by myself. And I made these sauces that went great with, these are potato wedges that were wonderful, a really good salad with cherries and walnuts and some cheese, and then the steak was really, really good. This turned out really nice. And one more, mushroom ravioli with kale and walnuts. My older son in particular really loves the raviolis, so I thought he would love this. And he did not. He was like, it was okay. It had a weird flavor. And maybe that was because of the kale. You actually saute the kale up a little bit. But I ate a digestive enzyme, and I ate this myself. It was very filling. I'm not used to eating something like that, but it worked because I had the digestive enzymes, which I also talk about. Digestive enzymes can help you process things that normally would be very inflammatory, like the wheat gluten, the lactose, sugars, and whatnot. And I particularly like the Arbonne Digestion Plus. It comes in a little packet, so you like a powder packet, so you'd mix it with a drink. It has pre and probiotic as well, so it's got all the enzymes, pre and probiotic. It works like a charm. You're supposed to use it half an hour before you eat, but I never do. I just drink it while I'm eating. And sometimes if I accidentally ate something and I can feel myself bloating out and getting uncomfortable, I'll take one and it'll handle it right away. most digestion is not handled in the stomach, it's handled in the small intestines. So you have a little bit of time if you kind of screw up on your diet and you're like, oh, I'm super uncomfortable right now. If you get sniffly and burpy and gurgly right away, that's dairy. If it's later on, a few minutes later, like 20 minutes later, and your gut bloats out, that's gluten. So digestive enzymes should have protease, which digest protein, which is going to help with your meat proteins too, but the protein and with beans. But it helps with the wheat gluten, which is a protein. Gluten is found in the hull of the wheat. The wheat is supposed to sprout out of there, and that's what's food, but they just take it and grind up the whole thing, whole wheat. It's definitely not, it's like eating whole peanut with the peanut shell. Makes no sense. So I will say the quality of the food, the produce and everything, and the packaging, I was perfectly fine with that. I had no problems with that whatsoever. The serving sizes were fine for someone like me. I'm just a little old lady, and the serving sizes were fine. But if you have growing boys like mine, my 19-year-old is 6'4" and a beanpole, so he could probably use all of the calories and extra portions that he can get. And my just turned 13-year-old is like 5'9" and growing like crazy too. So probably the serving sizes were a little bit sparse for them, but I made most of these for lunch. Because of the serving sizes, I opted to make them for lunch, and then we did something else for dinner. Man, I'm freezing. Joey, will you turn the air conditioning off, please? Brr. Oh, there's my light. Well, anyway, so there's my desk, and then my son's desk is right next to it. I had to move him back next to my desk because he's homeschooled and he wasn't doing his work. Thank you, honey. Okay, so overall, I didn't have an issue with HelloFresh as far as the food and the portion sizes and everything. The issues that I had was, okay, first of all, I was willing, because they're a little bit expensive, and I don't like to spend money where I don't need to spend money, especially if I feel like it's unjustifiably expensive. It was convenient. But what I did is I found on Groupon they had 3 weeks of meals, 3 boxes of 3 meals each for 2 people. So that was only $47, and the first week's shipping was free. So once you pay for the shipping for your other boxes, it ends up being $67 for 9 servings. $67 for 9 servings. So... And it helped me really get the ball rolling. I actually ventured out and tried my own recipe. It was okay. I won't get into that. But it did sort of get me into the groove of things and get my my interest in cooking peaked. So the problem I had, number one, was the Groupon only pays for your standard meals, which are going to be vegan, beef, chicken, and pork. We don't eat pork. So if you want anything that's like steak or like this one, for example, that was upgraded. That was an extra cost. And none of the Groupon part paid for that. We paid full price above our Groupon for this and this, where there was any kind of steak involved. Okay, so when you order the beef and some of the other ones, so you'll see on there it says premium. The Groupons don't cover any of that cost. It's not like they add the difference. They charge you full price. So that hit me off guard. I was not expecting that. I was also charged $10 each for the week 2 and 3. Okay, so just know that if you buy a Groupon that only pays for 1 week, or if you're getting, free trial, or it's not really free, it's just discounted. Make sure you understand that it's $10, $11 for shipping. Make sure you understand the premium meals and that cost. But the other thing about ordering with Groupon, and this was the real problem I had with it, is that HelloFresh went ahead and charged me for my third box $70 for 3 meals for 6 servings. And I called them and said, oh no, I actually bought this through Groupon. That third box is included. So please just go ahead and, refund me back for that. Nope. I have to call Groupon, which there is no customer service number. So then I have to go through and email them and explain what happened. I was like, you know what? I don't have time for that. I did not sign up for a Groupon to have there be a glitch in the system. So I went ahead and called my credit union, and I filed a dispute. They handled it. So that was the only real issue. Just be careful that you understand what the real cost is of what you're getting. If you're ordering those trials, the free meals, no, it's a subscription. And if you don't cancel, they're going to just keep charging you and sending you the meals that they're going to send you. I also changed the pork to a different meal, but they sent me the pork meal anyway. And so now I've got this package of ground pork in my refrigerator that none of us wants to eat. So I don't know what to do with it. Do I give it to the dogs? My dogs are kosher too, probably. I guess I'm just going to have to throw it away because I don't think anybody should be eating pork. It's really actually not very good for you. But it's one of the cheaper meats, and so there's a lot of recipes on HelloFresh. So make sure that you understand and double check that your meals that you've ordered are saved and they're coming to you. And that if you order premium meals, you're obviously charged more. That if you're getting free meals, make sure that you aren't getting charged full price. And that's really it. Other than that, glitches in the matrix. The quality of the food was reasonable, and the descriptions, the way that it was laid out was very simple. When I Googled, I was actually in the grocery store and I wanted to find something. I'm like, ooh, I'm in the grocery store. Let me see let me pull up a recipe and I'll shop for that tonight. Well, it called for a lot of things I didn't have. 2 types of mustard, a type of vinegar, and some other stuff that I didn't have. So I had to buy full sizes of those, where with HelloFresh, they send you little packets. So you're only getting exactly what you need. So now I've got this stuff in there. I've got to try to figure out what other recipes I can use it for, whole mustard. Good thing I love mustard, because I can't imagine there are too many recipes that call for whole mustard. So I ended up spending more because I was getting stuff that I didn't have that I might not tend to use a whole lot. And the other thing is, it didn't really turn out that tasty. It was just kind of okay. And and I'm talking about the recipe I found on Google. I don't know where it was from exactly, but the directions were a little more ambiguous than this, because it'll tell you, use half, put the rest aside, something like that. Do this, do this, do this. Blah, 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 blah. Very, very clear. And of course you want to read it ahead of time. But this Google recipe, I ended up kind of screwing it up just a little bit. And I don't think it made a big difference. But I found the HelloFresh to be extremely streamlined and easy to, it was very clear. The great clarity, really good packaging. The produce was fresh. Everything was really good. Just be careful of all of their upcharges and their the subscription, especially, like I said, if you get a Groupon deal, or they sent me these little cards to give someone else a free box of food. Well, they're going to have to sign up and get an account in the whole thing and pay for shipping. Maybe, I don't know if the shipping is included, but if they have to get a subscription to try the free box, then they're going to get charged and they're not going to be able to be refunded. It's just be really careful. Just as with any other company these days, they make it very easy to charge you over and over and over, and very hard to get refunded if somehow you forgot and screwed it up or whatever, which I tend to do a lot because I've got a lot of other stuff going on. I'm a single mom. I have to work. I homeschool. I don't have time for any ambiguity whatsoever. Would I order HelloFresh again? Maybe. I might want to try some of the other services. I really don't see myself spending that type of money on food. I would rather shop from local farmers so that I know I'm not getting tainted food, number one. There's a lot of tainting going on right now, and you really want to be careful with that. My objective, as I said, was to get the ball rolling and get my brains wrapped around fixing meals and that it's not a big deal. It doesn't take forever. I'm a very clean cooker, so there's really no mess. When I'm done, the kitchen is already clean because I clean as I go. And I learned that in home ec in 7th and 8th grade. It just really helped my life. They should have home ec, of course, but since my kids are homeschooled, I try to teach them myself. Like, this is how it goes down. When you are cooking, as things are going along, just clean up as you go. I don't really see a big issue. And I think that's about it. I hope this was helpful for you if you ever decide to do something like this. And, if you are one who is traveling a lot, perhaps, and maybe you're staying in something like one of those homestay suites where you have a kitchen, but you don't have all of the ingredients or anything, there's only a few things you would need to provide, like salt, pepper, butter, sugar occasionally. Like I used a teaspoon of sugar today in those tacos in the cabbage mix. It was really, really good. But what I love about it now is that I can take the recipes that we liked and just recreate them ourselves with fresh farm produce that's not tainted. So that was my objective. And getting that deal from Groupon made it worth it for me to try. So give it a try. If you've ever tried any of these meals from any of these companies, by all means, comment below. Let me know how it went for you, pros and cons, review it. And if you actually would like to try this, I have the QR codes. I don't know how I could get those to you, but I'm sure if you want to, just comment below and I'll see about getting you a free box. I don't get anything from it. I mean, it just, I canceled my subscription because it wasn't a long-term plan for me. But I could definitely see it coming in handy for light eaters. If it was just me, maybe I would get them and have one for dinner and then leftovers the next day. Some of them are good for leftovers, some of them aren't. I don't really love to microwave food. I especially do not like microwaved meat. So maybe some of the vegan meals, or separate out the meat from things to heat up. Heating up rice in a skillet doesn't always work because it changes it. So it kind of just depends on you and your vibe, but it's worth a shot. And there's a lot of those companies out there. So it's I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'd give it, 2.5 out of 3 stars as far as the overall experience. Dealing with HelloFresh, when there was a glitch with the Groupon, absolute 1 star at most, because they should have just handled it instead of making me do the footwork to call Groupon and all this other junk. They're the ones that put up the Groupon, so they should fix it if there's a problem. But the quality of the food was fine. The recipes were very clear. So I can't really say anything too bad about it. I wasn't trying to, but just make sure you know exactly what you're getting into. And give it a shot. Let me know. Like, subscribe, and share by all means, please. It helps the algorithm. You can see I'm just starting out, and I love chatting with you guys. This is fun for me. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed in my day. Life can be overwhelming. My son is going off to college, and he's going through the process of getting his dorm squared away and the loans that he's going to need and everything. And it's just, he's a little bit freaking out, and I'm trying not to take that on. So, love you. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. How do I stop this stream?